Bonjour tout le monde. My fellow Canadians, good evening. In the West, good afternoon. I want to speak directly to you today because Canada is at a crossroads. Je sais que la lutte contre la COVID-19
know that the fight against COVID-19 has been difficult for all Canadians for the last 6 months. For too many people, it's a question of life or death. For us, collectively, it's the fight of our generation. In the spring, we all worked together to flatten the curve, and our efforts have given fruit. But now, the virus is coming strongly in many parts of the country.
In our 4 biggest provinces, the second wave isn't just starting, it's already underway. The numbers are clear. Back on March 13th, when we went into lockdown, there were 47 new cases of COVID-19. Yesterday alone, we had well over 1,000. We're on the brink of a fall that could be much worse than the spring. I know this isn't the news that any of us wanted to hear. And we can't change today's numbers or even tomorrow's. Those were already decided by what we did or didn't do 2 weeks ago. But what we can change is where we are in October and into the winter. It's all too likely we won't be gathering for Thanksgiving, but we still have a shot at Christmas. Together, we have the power to get this second wave under control. I know we can do it because we've already done it once before. In the spring, we all did our part by staying home. And this fall, we have even more tools in the toolbox. People are wearing masks. That's critical, so keep it up. We've got the COVID Alert app. Take the teacher who felt fine, but who tested positive after the app warned her she'd been exposed. COVID Alert meant she went home instead of the classroom. It's a powerful, free tool that's easy to use and protects your privacy. So if you haven't already, download it off the App Store or Google Play. It's one more way to keep ourselves and others safe. Another is to get your flu shot this fall. Les gestes qu'on pose aujourd'hui
The gestures we're posing today will make all the difference on what will happen in 2 weeks and in 2 months.
Portez un masque.
Wear a mask.
Ça sauve des vies.
That saves lives.
Lavez vos mains.
Wash your
Gardez
hands.
vos distances.
Keep your distanciation. Have some flu shots.
Écoutez les agences de santé
Listen
publique.
to the health public
Madame
officials.
l'a dit hier,
Like Dr.
limitez
Tam
votre
said it
cercle
yesterday,
social.
limit
Évitez
your
de
social
prendre des
circle.
risques qui sont
Avoid
pas
taking
nécessaires.
risks that are unnecessary. It's not time to have parties. Nobody is invincible, and your loved ones are not either.
On peut pas baisser nos
We
gardes.
cannot
Même dans
lower
les
our
endroits où
guard,
le nombre de cas est
even
encore
in
bas.
places where the cases
Tout le monde,
are low.
s'il vous plaît,
Everybody, please,
téléchargez l'appli
download
Alerte COVID.
the Condo
Elle est
Alert
facile
app.
et gratuite.
It's easy,
Elle
it's
préserve
free,
votre vie privée
it will
et c'est un geste
protect
qui
your
va
private
vous
life,
protéger
and it
vous
suggests
et les
that will
gens
protect
autour
you
de vous.
and protect people around you.
This is the time for all of us, as Canadians, to do our part for our country as government does its part for you. There is a covenant between government and the people government serves. You need to know that you can rely on us, just like you can rely on each other. Alors qu'on fait face à cette crise,
As we're facing this crisis, as we're getting ready to
continuer
rebuild,
d'être là pour vous.
we will still be there for
Le
you.
gouvernement a
The
présenté un
government
plan
has
à 4
presented a
piliers
plan
pour
with
répondre
4
à cette
pillars
crise.
to respond to
La
this
première chose
crisis.
qu'il faut faire,
First thing we must
c'est
do
de protéger la
is
santé
to
des gens.
protect the health of people.
Les actions de nos
The
parents et de
actions
nos
of our
grands-parents,
parents and
ceux de la
grandparents,
génération qui ont affronté
those
la
of
Grande
the
Dépression
generations
et la
that
Deuxième Guerre
faced the Great
mondiale,
Depression
nous
and the Second World
rappellent
War,
qu'il faut être
reminds
résilient
us
et
that we must be
patient en temps de
resilient and
crise.
patient in
Ils
crisis
ont
time.
bâti le
They
monde
built
d'aujourd'hui.
the world of today,
C'est maintenant à
and
nous
it's today
de bâtir le
our
monde de
role
demain
to build the
en
world of
commençant
tomorrow by
par les
starting
protéger.
by protecting them.
La situation
The
vécue
situation
par trop de nos
that
aînés
has
dans
been
les
lived
centres
by
de soins
too
longue
many
durée
of our
est
elderly
inacceptable.
in long-term care center
ça
is
change.
unacceptable.
Et ça va
It has to
changer.
change, and it will change.
Au printemps,
In the
on a
spring,
envoyé les forces
we
armées
send
pour aider.
the armed
Et la
force to help,
Croix-Rouge est encore
and the
sur
Red
le
Cross
terrain.
is still on the field.
On va travailler
We
dès
will
maintenant
work
avec les
right
provinces et
now
les
with
territoires
provinces
pour établir
and
de
territories
nouvelles normes
to establish
nationales
new
pour
national
les soins de
norms
longue durée.
for the long-term health care.
Job one is keeping people safe. That's why we're signing deals on multiple potential vaccines, on therapeutics, on personal protective equipment. In fact, because we mobilized this spring, Canadians are now producing almost every type of PPE we need. We're helping the provinces and territories ramp up their capacity on testing while creating a federal response team for surge demand. And as soon as there's approval for faster tests to be used safely, we'll get them out across the country. If you need a test, you should be able to get one and get it quickly. This is about safety, and it's about what's right for Canadians. Protecting your health is the best thing we can do for the economy. So that's what we're working on first. And that brings me to the second part of the plan, supporting Canadians through this pandemic. The federal government will have your back, whatever it takes, to help you get through this crisis. Maybe you were one of the almost 9 million people who used the Canada Emergency Response Benefit this spring. We will continue to support all those who need it with a strengthened and broadened employment insurance system. Maybe your boss was able to keep you on the job or hire you back because the emergency wage subsidy helped with the payroll. People still need this program, so we're extending it right through to next summer. Or perhaps you're a business owner needing extra help to bridge to better times. For you, among other measures, we're expanding the Canada Emergency Business Account. And there's a lot more we're going to do. Go to canada.ca/coronavirus to see what support is available right now and how to apply. I know some people are asking how we can afford to do all this for Canadians. That's fair. The low interest rates mean we can afford it. And in fact, doing less would end up costing far more. Doing less would mean a slower recovery and bigger deficits in the long run. While we're dealing with this pandemic, I don't want you or your parent or your friend to take on debt that your government can better shoulder. So yes, in the short term, we'll keep investing. But beyond the emergency, as we start to build back better, we must do that in a fiscally and sustainable way. Investing for our recovery must be done responsibly.
You know, the pandemic is showing fundamentals inequities in our society. Now we have an opportunity to act so that it will change. We will build a society that will be better for everyone by bringing the economy better for everyone. And it's a third pillar of the approach of the government.
By creating a Canada-wide early learning and childcare system, we'll ensure that kids have access to care and that no parent, especially no mother, has to put their career on hold. This pandemic has reminded us all that building strong social supports is essential to growing the economy. By accelerating progress on national universal pharmacare, we'll get people the medicine they need while alleviating pressure on the healthcare system. By
investing to eliminate the itinerancy, we'll have a more prosperous society. Housing is not only a problem, it's a solution. It creates jobs, it permits people to grow, and we all want to build a stronger country for everyone. But to do so, we have to double our efforts to fight climatic changes. It's also the best way to ensure good jobs for today and for tomorrow.
Energy workers innovating to decarbonize, auto workers building zero-emission vehicles, engineers and construction workers delivering green retrofits for our homes and buildings. These are some of the people who will create a competitive economy of the future. As we do this work, protecting people's health, supporting Canadians, building back better, we can't forget what it's all for, making sure that everyone can participate to their full potential. And that's the final part of the plan. As a country, we must keep making progress on reconciliation with Indigenous peoples and on fighting systemic racism. Diversity is not just our strength, it's our competitive edge. Nos différences nous enrichissent.
Our differences are making us richer, whatever our beliefs, our culture, the color of our skin, our tongue. In our country, we're proud to have two official languages, French and English, that we will continue to protect. In Canada, we know that we're stronger when you are united and that we help each other. We're facing challenges together. This is what helped us to manage crisis better than many others.
Our country has been called to stand united and strong. In the face of change, our greatest generation showed us that overcoming crisis isn't easy. They didn't give up, and neither can we. To parents feeling like you can't get your life under control, to kids wondering why mom and dad can't just fix this, to seniors feeling like there's nothing you can do and thinking about all the things you can't do. That's understandable. But can't will not define us. We can bend the curve. We can build a stronger future. We can define the change.
Canadians, we are people that are saying we're capable. In each sector, the four parts of a country, we're all doing our part. The history of this pandemic is the history of people that are giving sacrifices, people that are working hard all day long to be there for each other. It's the story of the workers of first line, the heroes that never hesitated, that will never back up in front of this fight. You are a great source of inspiration for all of us. We are at a crossroads, and the future is in our hands.
There are many days to go before we get to the other side of this, but there are also many of us to get us there, so long as we each remember to do our part. And I know that we will. We are Canadians, and together, there's nothing we can't do. Prenez soin de vous, mes amis.
Take care of you, my friends. Thank you.